Now, I need to issue a caveat in coming on here. Although I need to get something else out of the way first. I am well aware of the issue with my camera at the moment. I do not need to be informed of the fact that there is a problem with that damn system. It sucks, and that's just, what I have to go with. But I have seen a lot of stupid and crazy and shit, and the comment section on YouTube, again, makes me not, I guess you could say, erodes my hope and faith in the human race. But in fairness, it does this almost all the time and pretty consistently. So that's not exactly newsworthy at all. But this channel and my primary Kaithra, the Sun Tamer, are going to basically have a very long term focus of things that we kind of do, and perspective that we kind of hail from, and you know in producing it, or that I hail from, at least, in producing it, to really take ownership of it. But there is this, I'm not a libertarian, is the basic caveat. I will sometimes, cite libertarians and their research and papers, but that does not mean that I individually am fond of the U.S. Libertarian Party, and don't kind of look at them as a kind of a comedic joke. I do, but that doesn't mean that none of the people that are behind it ever produce anything of value, or any valuable research, or anything that they put forward that is an informative perspective. And it got me just recently, and it's been getting to me for a while. And I've got something to say, and I've got to find the damn link that I'm looking for to put in the underbar. But it's been pissing me off for a while now, and it's, the fact of the matter is that the web is now literally filled to the brim with comments from, ill-informed, misinformed idiots, and completely uninsightful commentary on social media accounts, like, and here on YouTube. I mean, right here up on YouTube, you will see the idiocy in real time if somebody like me were to point it out and to point towards it and be like, "LOL, see the crazy." And that is that, like, every time the media will come forward with something like, a report about the new strain of the COVID virus, you will see that there are anti-vaxxers that are right there, committed to pouncing on all of these news stories at every point, to be like, "LOL, big pharma needs more money." And it's starting to really bother me, to the point in which that I would actually come out and say something. And it's been pissing me off. And now I wish that I had done this in the way where it was like I had actually shared screens. But there's this infographic that I would like you to see, which basically says big pharma versus big placebo. Opponents of vaccine and GM foods often promote organics and alternative medicine because you can't trust big pharma. They only care about profits. And what it's showing is that in recent years, the amount of money in millions, billions actually, that alternative medicine had pulled in, for the year of the U.S. market, at that of the year that this image was produced back in 2014, that alternative medicine pulled in $34 billion as an industry, and the organic food industry pulled in $28 billion, whereas the vaccine market only pulled in $12.8 billion, which the implications of this are, if doctors that were behind, the the vaccine, like the contingent of big pharma, but you can't criticize all of big pharma at once. It's too big. You know what I mean? It's really gigantic. So, if you criticize, well, you can attempt to criticize big pharma, but the problem with that is that you can't do it and be accurate at the same time, because it's too big to really, say something about all of big pharma at once. You have to kind of, narrow it down and focus, and focus on one part of it. And but the vaccine market was only 12.8 billion dollars wide, which means that alternative medicine and organic food were making far more money than vaccines. Which the implication therein of is that if doctors were motivated by nothing other than greed, then they should quit their job, stop vaccinating people and go join the quacks, and, start shilling the American people on alternative medicine and growing food organically, because they will make far more money doing that than they will actually trying to, you know, produce vaccines to for the people. See, I don't think that they are motivated by greed. I don't think that somebody gets involved. Well, I mean, how should I say this? I think that it's likely that the profit motive plays some role in why somebody becomes a doctor, but I don't think that it's one of those things where it explains it in its entirety. I don't think people go into medicine for, you know, profit alone. I just, people are caretakers. They like to, they like to look after people. They like to make a difference. They like saving lives. I mean, that's just, the thing that you would associate with being a doctor. They find it enjoyable and a very fulfilling, career that extends far beyond the profit motive. And it kills me that what is taken as insightful commentary on the internet is comments that imply every time there's a new strain that breaks out that, big pharma needs money again. And yet, alternative medicine hucksters and, organic food people, every time that they want to push something, nobody ever suspects them of anything. They get a free pass, and doctors are subjected to complete paranoid, delusion on a constant basis. And when a platform has the audacity to report the truth here about the fact that ivermectin has not been recommended for the COVID use, there's always going to be a comment section that's full of dipshits that say, "I took it and it saved my life." Bitch, it didn't do fuck all. You don't know that. I mean, like, I'm just sitting there, like, argumentative, but I can't take it anymore. I can't take the fucking stupid. And, like, I'm reading these comments. I'm like, how do you know what would have happened? Like, you took the medication, right? And you got better. But how do you know that you wouldn't have gotten better if you didn't take the fucking medication? And how do the rest of us know that? You know, like, we don't know that the ivermectin, just because you suspect that it caused it, truly did cure fucking anything. And the comment section is full of this, and it's just like, this world is full of so many brain rotten people, stupid people with worms for brains, that it's likely that just because that they're wrong, that they suspect that ivermectin cured them, but ivermectin didn't do shit. Just because you think something or have a hunch or a suspicion doesn't mean that fucking hunch was right. And it kills me. I'm with David Packman on this, in that I wish ivermectin was truly effective, but the research isn't bearing out the idea that it actually is. It would be nice if it were. It certainly is cheap. But that doesn't, the implications of that are like, they don't mean fucking anything. I mean, I'm not against it just because it happens to be cheap. I'm against it because it hasn't been demonstrated to work. And just because somebody will come on here on the internet and swear up and down that it works doesn't mean that it actually did. I don't trust people or take them at their word. Why the fuck should I? I mean, people are, have proven themselves to be fairly unreliable, about shit like this. And, it kills me. Like, this is so frustrating, and it's so frustrating, like, even trying to argue with these people, because it's like you're dealing with a contingent of people that is so determined to believe that vaccines are harmful or doctors are motivated purely by greed, that they're literally taking ivermectin, mixing it up into paste, that's meant for horses and horse dewormer, instead of actually just getting the fucking shot. And I mean, the amount and the level of stupid and crazy that's involved there is remarkable. But the obscene, you know, the obscenity of all of it, when you really think about it, is that it's like, H.G. Mencken was right when he wrote, "No one ever went broke betting against the intelligence of the American people." The fact that ivermectin has caught on as a trend proves exactly that. No one has gone broke betting that the American underestimating the intelligence of the American public. Apparently, this nation is filled to the brim with absolutely stupid and crazy people. I mean, I guess the fact is that the fact that we lead the world in the number of people who believe that angels are real should have been, a pretty big signifier of the fact that a low IQ population is the absolute majority of the United States public. I mean, that should have been, a flashing in the buzzer, sort of way of, a wake up call to the fact that this nation is full of stupid people. But I guess I didn't want to believe it. You all are a very massive disappointment. I just wanted to say that. And it's not as if, Canada is much better. The internet is now full of low quality comments to that effect. You know, these people think that they're saying something insightful, but really it's like, I think that a bag of rocks has more insight than that comment, because it's so, like, superficially obvious. And the fact of the matter is that it's like, my genuine financial advice to any medical student or person that was a doctor, and if you work in the vaccine space and you are motivated solely by greed and profit, then I would encourage you, that my genuine financial advice would be to quit your role and get into selling, the way that, and build a site of the nature of natural news and go into competition with them, because there is far more money in quackery than there ever will be in medicine. And we have a very stupid nation, very dumb. You will never, ever go broke underestimating the intelligence of the general public in the United States, or up there in Canada, of the entire North American population. There are a enormous amount of suckers and stupid people, and God help us all is all I can say, because ignorance like this can be deadly.